What is up, HotMakers? Welcome to HotMakes right here on HotMakes Live /HotMakes. My name's Nerdy J. This, my friends, is the real Sam Prentice. How you doing, Sam?
I'm good. I'm certainly real. I'm not the imposter one. So you've got to be really careful with this kind of stuff. No, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm doing awesome. It is late there. I think you're like 6 hours ahead. What is it, about midnight, right?
It's now Tuesday. Yeah,
it's Tuesday. Yeah. so I'm talking to the real Sam Prentice from the future.
Indeed, it's weird, isn't
Only
it?
On HotMakes. Only
crazy times.
Well, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you. I know we've been talking about it for a while, and this has been scheduled for a little bit. So I'm super pumped to talk about everything you do. I mean, it's behind you, so I can't wait.
You know what it is? It is. There's a few things here. There's a few things that are. Yeah, this is kind of weird though, you know, because go ahead. This is kind of weird though, because all this was kind of born from me getting really annoyed about something, and then Creality kind of picking me up and saying, "Hey, we want to do some shows with you and whatnot," and then it's kind of just turned into a whole YouTube thing. So it's kind of like I'm still trying to find my feet with a lot of this stuff, but yeah, ultimately I make big 3D prints which have, you know, got into various things in the Star Wars universe, which has been kind of cool. But yeah, the whole point is to kind of, I guess, you know, kind of educate, and I'm enjoying the YouTube stuff. I am. No, it's not the fake one. I'm enjoying it. It's a bit of a labor of love, and we were just talking about that a little bit before, you know, before this kind of started rolling. But yeah, lots of printers, lots of slicing, lots of filament, and no time with my family is generally the pick of the punch. And as you know, I've got a 6-month-old son now, and he's becoming very aware that I'm in this room all the time tinkering. So yeah, it's cool. You know, it's one of those things.
That I agree. It is a labor of love, and congratulations on the 6-month-old. That's awesome. I know my little man just turned a year and a half, 18 months, and it is wild. I love it.
Does it get better?
Oh, yeah. It's worth it. They keep telling you that, right? It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. When they're about 18, I think, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know.
It is. He shows me something new every single day, which is awesome. And it's definitely worth it. So before I forget, yes, you mentioned earlier on Twitter that you recently heard about Fangs from the show here, and I just wanted to throw out there they are sponsoring tonight's show, and we have a $50 Amazon gift card courtesy of Fangs. So thank you so much, Fangs. We can't wait to give away the Amazon gift card. The link is in the description below. Also, Nightbot will be throwing it out there. It looks like it just did. So click on that. Make sure you get signed up, because towards the end of the episode, we'll give away $50 from Fangs, which is going to be awesome. But I don't want to get too much off track. I mean, I'm so pumped to talk to you, and I've been drooling over the Star Trek thing right behind. No, I'm just joking.
Come on, my God!
I removed him because that was illegal.
It was illegal. Yeah, he should definitely be banished for that. It's that's sacrilegious.
So
it's certainly if like a neighbor says to me, "Oh, how's the Daleks getting on?" and I'm just like, I'm literally going to punch you in the face. It's you know, you just don't go down. You just don't go down that road. You really don't.
So
but no, it's cool.
So before we get too far into the episode, real quick, who are you? Where can we find you? So you can hit that right in the beginning. We're gonna do it again at the end, but I want to let everybody know, you know, who you are, where you come from, and you know what you do.
Okay, well, I'm Sam Prentice. It's the real Sam Prentice on Instagram, Sam Prentice on Twitter, and the real Sam Prentice over on YouTube. I am a maker, generally working in the Star Wars 3D printing space at the moment, and also occasionally making props for some of the films. So it's been an interesting journey, to say the least. But yeah, I'm doing review videos and stuff. I'm kind of still trying to cut my teeth on YouTube and stuff, but meeting some very interesting people, working with some very, very interesting companies at the moment, and you know, representing as always. But yeah, the real Sam Prentice, that's who I am. So
That's the real one. The real one.
The real one. The real one. Yeah.
Nice. No, I think I've been seeing you on streams kind of all over. You guys were doing the streams a little bit on the droids, right? You're doing some droid building.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I got to start building my droids, and I want to talk about the big ones you have going on first, and then let's go back a little bit after that and talk about like somebody like me who's never built one. Where would you start? But before we get there, what's the meat and potatoes? You have an R2D2 sitting back there. You moved a minute ago and you had a bunch of droids sitting back there. Let's talk a little bit about that and what you do with them, because you mentioned a little show called Star Wars. You might have some in there, right? If we could talk about that, I'm not sure, but
yeah, I guess we can. So okay,
carefully,
so let me just jump up for a second. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can. See, the problem is with this room now, I've got so much stuff in here, I can't actually get to anything. So it's a bit of a pain. But so basically what's happened is I'm part of a online community called the UK R2 Builders Club. There's a worldwide one, all that kind of stuff. So about 6 years ago, I got involved with building the black robot over in the corner there, which is R2Q5. And he's made from a little bit of 3D printing, wood, aluminium, various other components as well. And then I kind of got really hitched into the 3D printing stuff and trying to build more things and just stuff that I'm really kind of interested in. And a few people are saying, hey, you should put this on YouTube. And, it's kind of evolved as things have kind of gone on. In the R2 Builders Club, there was an opportunity to submit your droid to perhaps being in a film. So luckily enough, mine was picked for The Rise of Skywalker. And
nice.
I worked solidly on that for a good month or so. And that droid, unfortunately for me, is no longer with me because I sold it. So,
as you do,
needs must. And, it's a film prop. Occasionally they do come up for sale. And I spoke with Lucasfilm and we were able to compromise on getting out of that particular NDA. But I'm a maker. I'm not a collector of Star Wars memorabilia. So there is a real, defined line between the two people that kind of work within that kind of area. And I just want to build stuff. And, same with the Polymaker droid, which is over here. I was talking to those guys saying, what's the exit plan for this? Is it just going to remain in my room? And they're like, no, we want you to tour it. So I'm out. I was supposed to be at Formnext with him, but we couldn't make that happen. So I'm just going to fly out there for a couple of days and then fly back. Gotcha. He's then going to be out in the Netherlands at a show out there as well. And then I kind of guess we're going to sort of send it to China, and it's probably going to go out and do some shows out there as well. So,
nice.
It's what's kind of nice is that you're building something for a company that kind of is willing to sort of sponsor you and, supply you filament and other bits and pieces. And that's kind of like an ongoing relationship, which has been kind of nice. And, there are, Luzbot, Slice Engineering, Polymaker, the UK brand 3D Thriller Print. They've been really kind of instrumental in kind of growth of the stuff that I want to do. But as we were talking about just before we came online, is that, I got involved with the reviewing of 3D printers and doing all that kind of stuff. And that's all well and good. But really the passion is about making. And, you touched on the stuff I did with John at Tripod's Garage and Jerry and those guys on taking a bunch of people that are, small YouTubers and saying, how do we build a robot? How can we make this work? Right. And showing people kind of things like, little speed controllers, motor controllers and things, and how to, 3D print something that you can put a motor inside of. And,
that's
cool. I'll just show that again. Nice. And then it kind of then goes into, perhaps like a bigger sort of size robot. And you'll see here that the tracks that are on this one are actually a smaller version of the Polymaker droid. So they're much larger tracks.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's TPU. Typically it's TPU. And the next stages, I guess, for that are going to be, we're looking at doing a 3D printed robot that has a 3D printer inside of it, and it's going to print out emojis. Okay.
Yes.
So it might spit out a rainbow or a heart, or it might drop a turd out, that kind of thing as it's going around the shows. But I've got a bit of ADHD, right? So this is what happens in my mind. I wake up and go, oh my God, I've got this fantastic idea. Motley Crue, right? The drummer in Motley Crue, right? The drum riser spins and rotates. Yeah. So I was thinking, you know what? We need this to now spin and rotate inside the robot. So I'm no CAD expert, but my buddy Michael Badley, he's going, well, how are we going to? I was like, don't worry about it. We'll do it. We got to get this sorted. So so for next year, we're doing that now. The design's sort of being finalized and stuff. So it's going to be a Polymaker droid, slice engineering stuff, and it's going to have a rat rig, the new little V Minion that they've made.
Nice.
And that's going to go inside of that, and it's going to be able to be sort of movable and tippable and all that kind of stuff. Oh, Geary.
Yeah, no, you mentioned Michael Badley, and we talked about him briefly when Tim O'Sullivan was on the show. Just want to point that out. Yeah, he's over in your area, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's about 4 hours north of me. A good friend of mine, actually. He's a really good guy, really good quality guy.
That's awesome. As a fan of robots, I appreciate him very much.
He's a jolly nice man indeed.
If I remember right, he did the train, right?
The train? Oh,
no.
No. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
wrong guy.
He makes a 3D printing droid files on Patreon.
That's right. We were talking about where to get them, and it was on Patreon. Because that's what you guys followed with like Tripod and Jerry and those guys, right?
Yeah,
Tripod too. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of the easiest kind of method to move forward because it's tried and tested. So rather than trying to CAD something up yourself or trying to design something yourself, historically the robots from the droid builders groups have been kind of metal and wood and styrene and things like that. And you kind of follow a plan, you glue it all up, and you kind of hope that it's going to sort of stay together. What Michael was trying to do is everyone said to him that you could never 3D print an R2D2, and boy were they wrong. To the point that I think it was something like 14,000 people on his Facebook site, and they're all good quality people. It's and he's very down to earth and always up for a laugh, and the technical knowledge that he's got, and he teaches it as well. You can do a fusion course with him. He does all these kind of weird and wacky kind of ways of working, and he's a massive asset to the to the community as a whole. And again, he's done a Jawa truck thing, and that moves along, and he's got little miniature droids that sit inside of that.
I've got to get on his. I keep saying I'm going to do on Patreon and just start or become a Patreon. And
it's cheap. It's really cheap as well. It's really like $5 a month or something like that.
Whoa, that is cheap. So
you get access straight away to everything, full size droids, small droids, whatever you want. It's all there.
I'm gonna have to jump on that. So earlier we had a question. What's the difference in your eyes between a robot and a droid?
Oh, that's a good question. So a droid is typically out of the Star Wars universe. That's kind of how they would refer it to. I think, in fact, Lucasfilm took androids to task, I think, a few years ago, didn't they, over the use of the name? Yeah. So, again, I refer these things to as being droids because they are kind of typically Star Wars-esque, and that's kind of my media, I suppose. Again, anything that's built here, I can submit it to Lucasfilm and say, hey, do you fancy this? And maybe they do, maybe they don't. The ALT track droid, which is this red guy in the background here, I've done a couple of little videos with him. He's 3D printed, so the body and everything's 3D printed, the dome. And the side panels, and then it's got snowblower tracks on the feet. Okay. Now they can be swapped out for the TPU versions that Badley does, of course. And again, this is a Badley design. And then you'll see over here this little miniature droid, which got quite a lot of attention on Twitter the other day. That's a scaled down version of that. And I had this idea of putting a wind turbine inside of it, which takes this battery, which is no slouch. Wow. It's incredibly noisy, so I wouldn't be able to start it up now. But yeah, the idea is that propels it forward. So it's almost like it's basically having a jet engine inside of the droid.
That's
and again,
crazy.
All these things are sort of relative to the whole thing. So even I'll show you the R5 here. This again 3D printed R5 dome. This was a 16-day print. It's not finished. I may never finish it. I just like to show people that it took 16 days. And again, you know, it's got it's a horrible pink filament that I printed it in originally. But
what printer?
That was on one of the Creality S5s that I've got, which I upgraded and stuff. But I mean, this is part of the, I guess this is sort of part of the allure to 3D printing and making stuff. So, you know, so what's happened in this kind of environment is, in order to print droids, generally people went out and bought Creality S5s. That's kind of a staple kind of diet for people.
Right. That's it's a huge printer. I mean,
I've got 3 of them, right? So I was trying to produce this on a relatively big scale. And, you know, people talk about print farms and, can you print me a dome? And then you print in these domes, some of them 6-7 day prints, you know, a huge amount of filament going through them. And after about 100 hours, generally, in my experience anyway, the Creality S5 starts messing about. So you're getting heat creep, you're getting problems with skipping steps, you're getting, you know, a whole range of things that just start happening for no real apparent reason. It happened on each one of them. So I upgraded it with Slice Engineering copperheads and DDXs.
Nice.
And, you know, you start going down this, it's almost like a boy racer mentality, because you buy like a printer that's not a cheap printer, right? But then you're like, wouldn't it be good if I upgraded it to a 24, you know, and I'll put a big TreeTech board in there, and I'll put Trinamic stepper drivers on. And then you're like looking around going, is it on? Because it's so quiet now. Like, you know, it was a ZX Spectrum 5 minutes ago, and now it's like quiet. So you're looking around at that constantly, and then, you know, you get a fail or something happens like that. But this was printed. The ALT droid here was printed. You'll see these types of droids in Solo. I've put my own spin on it, being red and things like that. But you know, that was purely printed in G-Tech filament for video we did with G-Tech on a S5, and the whole thing was done. And I think it was about a month or so printing to, you know, in order to get it done and stuff. Whereas the Polymaker droid was about a month's printing across about 10 different printers. So, you know,
oh crap, that's a lot. Yeah,
it is, and especially when we touched on this before, Creality sent me a CL30. And I was like, okay, belt printer, this could be interesting. So I printed loads of bits out, mainly to do with the kind of legs, the way that kind of works. And I went to assemble these parts. And bear in mind, I'm probably about 6 or 7 kilos into this, and maybe they're $30 a spool, right? And every part is short by a fraction. On the longer parts, by about 10 mil. So, you know, we were talking about this before. When you get a printer, you do expect it to at least be mathematically correct, and especially when you're doing things like engineering gears and gearboxes, which you're doing in this. You know, it's the whole gear assembly is 3D printed, and if the printer isn't producing the right sizes, you're never going to get anywhere. So I kind of felt like that was a bit of a back foot, and I haven't got time to mess about with it now. You know, it's I will get round to it at some point. But, you know, Joel Telling, you know, he came out with some, he did a video on, there was a chap that was modding them, and this is what you need to do. And I'm like, I'll sit there and I'll go through that at some point. I'll mount it on the wall. I'll do all that kind of crazy stuff as well. But, you know, time is such a valuable commodity. And I say this all the time. And, you know, you just end up kind of losing yourself.
100%. So
trying to do stuff.
Were you able to fix the steps on the CR30, or you haven't played with it?
No, it was wrong, and I was like, it's wrong. I can't. You know, you should try this. You know, I was on to Naomi Wu. I was trying to get this. You know, the bed, it wasn't sticking to the bed properly. I was using like 3D lac. Managed to get that down. Couldn't print.
Oh, nice.
You know, and again, that's where you get involved with, you know, the CR10 S5, and then I kind of migrated over to RatRig, and that's for me has been a game changer.
Game changer. It's so much faster, right?
Man, it just blows everything out of the water. You know, Core XY setup, 500. I've got a 400 up in the 400 up in the corner and stuff, which I did all the videos on. I've got another one just down here. I think I'm surrounded by about 13 printers in this room at the moment, so it's kind of a bit crazy. But and ironically, my wife tonight, she goes, "I'm just going to go to bed." And I was like, "Okay." And she goes, "Are the printers on tonight?" And I'm like, "No, because I'm streaming."
Sure.
And she goes, "Yeah, they were really noisy last night." And I was like, okay. And we're talking Luzbot and 2 Prusa's. It's pretty much on all the time, but I've moved them around, so I'm gonna have to do some sound deadening in here. But
yeah.
Right now, I'm printing a. Do you remember Short Circuit, the film Short Circuit?
Yeah,
Johnny 5?
yeah.
So we're doing a miniature version of Johnny 5, and I know you know Dave Stapley as well, don't you? He's got the eye popping.
We featured that last week. I think we had it on, or I think it was last week we had him on. Yeah, that Johnny 5 is sick.
He's a UK maker as well. There's a couple in the UK. Rights Robots is one of them, and Dave's another one. And he's done some absolutely incredible work. And ironically, this is how these things kind of started. So I was doing this stuff with Creality. I got Dave on, and I got the original creator who built Johnny 5 for the film on. So bear in mind, this is on Creality's channel. They don't know what's going on, and I'm just taking over and doing this kind of talking about 3D printing and Johnny 5 and how many millions they spent on the products.
Right.
And and I thought in my mind, I was like, this is just amazing. I'm geeking out like crazy. Yeah. And Creality are like, we don't know what's going on, because they, I think, talking quickly and, language barrier and all that kind of stuff, they were just like, I really don't know what's happening at the moment. So they sort of lost control of that one. But it was in my opinion, it was a really good stream. So
that's awesome. And the original maker of the Johnny, that would be awesome. I mean, that is awesome. What,
Short Circuit is my favorite documentary.
Is it because he's alive?
Yeah.
A documentary, naturally. So,
but let me show you Jim. Let me show you some parts for this. Right. So this is Johnny 5 parts here. There are several hundred in this pack, and there's another box over there. But we're talking drive systems, and this is going to work. This isn't messing around. The designer of these, I got the files actually from Dave, but there's these little intricate parts and stuff. And I know there's going to be a few people that are going to want to make this. So I'm going to try and get it out there quickly and try and get it going.
Nice.
And that's part of yet again another stream.
That's going to be awesome. And we can find this. Are you going to stream it all on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Tripod's going to come on and do some stuff with us because he's a good guy.
Yeah, we met Tripod at Murph, and he had one of the droids with him. So
did you kick him over? I heard you kicked him over because it was wet.
I kicked. Oh yeah, Tripod or the droid?
Oh, both.
No. I think Joel. No, let's not spread rumors. No, I don't know. I think it was like a swimming pool is what it was, and the one wet floor sign that probably was like in the middle of the corner of the room, or I don't know. It was. When Joel was on, we talked a little bit about it. It was like probably an inch of water, half inch to inch of water on the whole floor.
Oh my God.
And people were printing still. And that was like a testament to some of these machines, because how are you printing PETG in standing? I mean, there's water on the ground, Tripod ran over my foot with his droid, Shane said. That's awesome. But yeah, that droid was pretty cool. We did a video with the Tripod from our Murph coverage, and man, I love seeing it. I was like, man, I gotta build one of these, and I just haven't taken the time to do it. I just need to, because I mean, I can tell by your emotions that you love doing this, and seeing a finished product like ADD wise, like I have a bunch of not finished stuff. Andrew S, if he's watching right now, I have 3 of his lit up or signs that lights up right here. All I have to do is put the lights in them and put the back on them. That's all. But they've been there for like 4 months, at least 4 months, or so it's stuff like that. But real quick, what are you guys drinking out there? I am drinking this LaCroix Key Lime. I don't know if you ever saw this stuff. I don't know if they have it out there, but it's water. It's sparkling water. There we go. And it's super shiny. But my wife got this for me to try, and I just took a drink, and it made me think of this, ADD. It's like squirrel moment. It tastes like Skittles.
Like really?
Straight Skittles. And I don't know how it does that, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. But it's good. Let me know in the chat what you guys are drinking, if it's tea or coffee or a real drink. But what time we got time. So if you're like me and you've never built a droid yet, you want to start from the ground up. And by the way, while you were just talking, I could share my screen, but I could share my screen. I just joined Michael Badley's Patreon while you were talking.
Good.
It's $5 a month, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm super pumped. So check out Michael Badley on Patreon. I just joined myself, but yeah, if you're like myself, never built a droid ever, I just joined Michael Badley's Patreon. I can go on and get anything to start with. What would you suggest?
Oh, you know what? I'd try and do the baby droids first. I've got like a dome up here somewhere. You must have seen the small droids, right? They're really good. They use these tiny little servo motors as well. So they're super, super interesting because it's a cheap thing to build. So very cheap controller, very cheap servos. You print it, you can do it across a weekend. T-Do as well, which is a small version of the Polymaker droid, the really small one. Again, it's TPU, PLA, a couple of servo motors, and if you've got like a radio controlled unit that you're sort of knocking around, you can pick them up for like $10-12. They're not hugely expensive on AliExpress. And then you're kind of good to go, really. And it's very small batteries, and he's kind of aiming this kind of stuff at children. And, it's a great thing to do as a parent, I think. And, we've got some kids across the road and they see me coming out with like crazy robots and stuff all the time. And the grandma,
I can imagine being
just
your
like,
neighbor.
Can we sort some stuff out? And, well, as well how crazy things are here, right? Because I do the Halloween and Christmas light show here.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah. And I sort of thought I used to, many years ago, I was involved with a rock club. It's one of the longest running rock clubs in the UK. So we put on bands and we did I did it for about 10 years. It was an amazing time. So I thought, we're going to go with a bit of Rage Against the Machine this year. And it went down surprisingly well.
Nice.
And we did a whole Matrix thing. And, it's, again, when you can sort of team a couple of hobbies together. So I'm 3D printing stuff for that show. And, you can make props and you can do all that kind of crazy stuff as well. So it's, again, it's another labor of love. And the next thing we roll on to Christmas, of course. So
I was going to say, how long does a show like that take to put together?
That was a solid week of building. Yeah. So these are 12 mil pixels. Okay. And you've got to push each one of them into the props in a specific order. So it's almost like sort of dot to dot, Then you plug it into a what they call a Falcon F-16. You CAD your entire house via an app, import it, and then you basically draw on all the props, and then it sequences everything to music. It's an incredible piece of software. It's free as well. Free bit of software. Yeah. It's called X-Lights, and I spent a year training every Thursday. With these guys in the UK on how to do this, and what's nice is when it sometimes giving money to somebody doesn't really help them, but if you've got an R2D2 and you've built that and you take it to a Comic-Con and the kids love all that kind of stuff, and the same thing goes with the Christmas lights. We're living in these COVID times now, and people just want to go out, have a look at something, enjoy themselves, and then kind of move on and stuff. I think that it's helped a lot of people out. And that's certainly true from the feedback that I've got. So, it is what it is.
That's awesome. And the show was awesome. I know if we have time, we'll find it towards the end of the episode, because I want to put that on again. I saw a picture of like a huge crowd in front of your house, which is awesome. And we see some of those around here, but I've always wanted to do something like that. Another thing that you say, I'm going to do that someday. But
well, you know what? This is. I'll tell you exactly what happened, Jim. My neighbor had the audacity one year to have slightly more lights around his house than I did. So New Year's Day, I spent £3,000 on a whole light setup, 10,000 LEDs, and it's got bigger and bigger and bigger. This is a few years ago now, so I won't be outdone.
Nice. I could see that. I mean, like, definitely you're not going to be outdone. So did you wait for New Year's Day so everything went on sale?
No, I just went push the button. That's, you know, it's traditionally it's American setup. So you guys are really lucky out there because the boards and stuff are relatively cheap. Obviously over here we've got them imported to a company, and then the company then sells them, and you know, it's sort of you know, I'm quite fortunate because a lot of people like Star Wars, so I rock up and go, yeah, I've got some droids here, and they're like, oh my god, like melting. And this happens quite often with if I'm having some work done in my house and like the building inspector comes over. Generally, I got a few years ago, I got a bathroom signed off. The building inspector came in, he spent 45 minutes talking about Star Wars, 5 minutes looking at the work, and just signed it off. And I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, it has its merits.
Nice. You're like, you know, I what do I need today? Let me just drive R2D2 up there and ask for it, you know. Hey, how are you? Can I have a car? Okay, sure, yeah. Nice. All right, so I think I'm just double checking time here. I think we should jump into some hot makes. So I think we have 6 or 7, and we have a little bit of time to check out some hot makes, do some giveaways. Don't forget, there's a $50 Amazon gift card, courtesy of Things, that we're going to give away towards the end of the show here in about, I would say, about 15 minutes. So if you have not registered yet, you got to register to win, and you have to be here. So once we call your name, you have to be on the stream to win. I could talk droids all night, and I think most of us would love that, except for our families and maybe you because you're not sleeping. But yeah, Wizards in Winter. That was like the famous one that I remember first seeing. John Mack said Wizards in Winter. So someone put together a Christmas light show and used the Trans-Siberian Orchestra Wizards in Winter song, and it was the first one that I remember seeing, and it kind of went viral, and then you started seeing more and more pop up. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I haven't.
Geary,
I know there's like Light Wars, or somebody put, I think, Light Wars and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people that are featured on, the American houses are so big, it's crazy. And, my house isn't huge, but I think we drew about 250 people, I think, that night.
Yeah.
That Halloween night.
It was a great picture of the crowd you had. That would have been phenomenal. Did you play it like through times or just once?
We did it twice a night for 3 nights.
Nice.
So, just not to kind of aggravate the neighbors completely. So, it's, but Christmas is going to be interesting because I've got flame projectors and moving heads and stuff as well. So they just arrived.
Yes, I hope you said fire. No, but have you ever seen? I don't know if it would help you, but it would be a lot of fun. They're called sparklers or sparkulars. Sparkulars. So you see like a big. You're talking about rock. You see like big stage performances and stuff. The first time I saw them was at a Shinedown show. Brent Smith, the singer Shinedown, went out in the middle of the crowd, and then it like rained around him. It was ridiculous. And you're thinking like, how did he not get burnt? Well, these are actually not flammable. You can use them without a fire permit and everything. You can put your hand over paper over it won't burn you. Wow. And it is super cool. I own a DJ entertainment business, and I was this close. My wife would have said, do it. I would have bought them for like 13 grand. You could have a set of like 6 or 8 with a huge case. They come in with a controller, like everything you need. And I'm just like, that would be too much fun. But I could just imagine like, Christmas and everything's, sparks are flying everywhere. It would be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
So I think, Geary, if you're ready, I think we should do some hot makes. Ladies and gentlemen, hot makes. All right, so today we're going to start out. Old Curmudgeon tagged us, and this popped up in a YouTube feed. And this is actually how to make a 16 by 16 by 16 LED cube. It's a super cool video if you watch through it. And I just love how it looks. I mean, it's super cool when you have anything like, LEDs programmed, and just to watch the different programs that tells you how much energy it takes and that kind of thing. But yeah,
that's insane, isn't it?
And it's a cube of those. So So Tim over at TH3D has one in his background that will change on command in the chat. If you ever watch it, Tim, and it's a smaller one. I think it's like maybe 6x6 or something like that. I can't remember. But I would love to make a big one like this. And
it's an Arduino as well, you know. So these are incredibly powerful things. The light shows run off a Raspberry Pi. I know someone was just mentioning that, you know.
Sure.
Droids are run off Arduinos. You know, there is so much out there now that is just, you know, the technology is just there, and you just need to have that. I mean, that's amazing. Just having the inspiration. We would do that kind of effect in a matrix, so it wouldn't be 3D, but it would be, you know, and you can have people moving around and put video up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think what I need to do is take enough time to try one of these too, but I'm going to do a droid first. But this could be a pretty cool feature for your Christmas. I mean, I don't want to challenge you, but
definitely
do like man, that would be crazy. Do like a human full size one, and then you could do like, you know, person walking and stuff like that. That'd be crazy. I should turn the chat back on because I'm sure the chat has a lot of fun stuff to say about this one. But nice work. Definitely check it out. Don't forget a link in the description below if you want to check out our Google Drive. It's a link to Google Drive, and it has all of the stuff we're seeing. So go check that out. Nice work there. What do we got? Local Maker Michigan. So he broke electric motor fan on the log splitter. So jumped in Tinkercad and made this one to fix it. There you go.
Nice.
I mean, why not 3D printing something for a log splitter? As long as it holds up, right? I mean, that could be I don't know what this part does, right? It's obviously just a motor fan. So I guess if it's a fan, it could just like explode if it didn't hold up, right?
Oh my God.
But nice work. I love practical stuff. There's a lot of good practical stuff today. What do you do? Do you do anything like more practical side? Like you said, your Christmas or your holiday lights, you know, you do stuff for that, but is it mostly just droid fun?
It's all robots. And I did print this guy today. I don't know if we can, there he is. And, you know, and I found that on things, and you know, it's cool, dude. That's, you know, I don't print a lot of things like benches and stuff, you know. I just find like the resources are a bit wasteful sometimes, you know. And I print big stuff, so it's kind of like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it big, and you know, that's my thing, I guess.
Well, I appreciate you printing the mini gym. You can find the mini gym on Thangs. I believe I got to check our link. The link in the description below might be straight to it. But that was thanks to Wexter. Wexter came on and he's like, I made a thing, and it was awesome.
It is very cool. I will say, it's very cool.
Hey, I feel like when that happened, I made it. You know, I mean, when Wexter makes a mini of you, I mean, you're up there with like the Marvelverse, Joel, you know.
Incredible. Incredible.
He's like, I was like, are you going to release it to your patrons? And he's like, absolutely not. So I mean, there's that. But nice work, Local Maker Michigan. Very practical, and you got to love the practical stuff. What do we got next? 3D Print Bunny. Now this was sick. This is a pencil holder that prints in vase mode. Only took about 3 hours to print, and used the recycled matte filament, but she has a bunch of really cool pictures.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's a real nice close-up view of it.
I want to know more about that. What's that, like a 0.8? What is that?
I was just, it's got to be a big, here you go. There's a pathway. So that's
there he is, Joel telling again.
That takes, holy moly.
That is cool. That is very cool.
And I believe she's with us. So let us know what nozzle you use. That's some thick, chunky layers, which I love it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I want to know everything about that. What printer was that on?
We want to know everything.
0.6.
0.6. Okay. 0.6, and let us know what printer too, because that's a beautiful print. I'm not sure if this is available for anybody. Let's see. Does she say? I don't know if she said this. I don't know if it's out there yet, but maybe check out I believe she has a Patreon, so check out Patreon where she does a lot of her cool stuff over there. And maybe we'll see it on things. You never know.
Mark
it is Prusa.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's nice. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And when I first read this, when I saw it, I was like, pencil? Who uses pencils anymore? And then I noticed they're colored pencils, so that's okay. It's on my Patreon. You can buy it on Colts. Awesome. There you go. So nice work. It's a gorgeous print. This one right here, this has got a pretty big story to it. So, RC Maniac put together candy corn filament, and he sent some to Loyal Moses and to Sir Will. It started, let's see, I believe printed solid, right? Wildcat blue and printed solid, right? So he put together the candy corn filament. Here you go. So that's what he made. Okay. But to do that, he actually took parts that were 3D printed and that he already had and built this thing out of a KitchenAid mixer, which is awesome anyway, right? And basically made his own like spooler, and you can see in a second there you go.
No way.
I mean, this is such a cool mix of ideas. Here you go. Did a bunch of dry fitting testing. So this is right off a KitchenAid mixer, which is awesome for one, because quite a few people have these. And then he threw these parts together, similar to like I'm guessing gears inside of a droid, right?
Yep.
And was able to there you go. There's the roll of filament on there. And then if we come back down here, printed the parts in the same filament. So maybe if I can open it, there you go. There's the candy corn filament that he made with these parts, which is really cool. And let's see. Did some gear ratio work, and then here we go. There we go. So I mean, I'm not sure if he's on with us. I didn't see him in the chat, but I could be wrong. But it looks like he's doing it out of a pallet and then spooling it right onto this, right onto this roll.
It's people like Vinny that's going to save the world. You realize that?
100% agree.
Here, that he is the superhero. That is just insane.
Yeah. So he took the three colors into the pallet, and then he pushed them out and into his KitchenAid mixer, which is phenomenal. And he used that to wind it. That's what I'm seeing here. And I mean, just a whole really cool story behind this. And like I said, the description is in our link. Go find it or find Vinny on Twitter. But it's really cool because he sent a roll to, like you said earlier, to Loyal Moses and to Sir Will. And it's cool that he made his own little label there. It's printed solid Jesse PLA custom candy mix corn filament. It's just such a cool idea. And I never would have thought to grab my mixer, and there's the colors there, splicing and but yeah, I never would have thought to use my mixer. There you go. There's some good running. You can see it turning.
Oh, I see now. Okay, so what he's got is he's got a CR30 that probably doesn't work, and he's thought, well, what else can I do? Gotcha.
No, I think what's really happening is that spool is connected to the mixer there, and it's turning and pulling the pallet through, causing it to do the fusing and wherever he tells it to fuse. But yeah, I mean, the CR30 is clearly in the background hanging out there. Nice, but such a cool idea, and you can make your own colors and filaments, and soon we'll have the Palette 3. I pre-ordered a Palette 3 Pro. I pre-ordered it from Repcord, and that's going to be 8 colors. So wow, that's going to be pretty cool.
I love this. But, Greg, is the CR30 doing anything or just there? Mate, they're all just there. They don't do anything.
Yeah, hey, I had mine going the other day. I printed some pieces on it recently.
How did that work out?
It did good. I followed. I got a hold of Pooch, and found he walked me through his tips for success. I scrubbed the crap out of the belt with a soaking of IPA, and I scrubbed the heck out of it. I sprayed it really good, and I actually just told it to roll, and I just scrubbed the heck out of it. That actually did a ton, and everything has fingers crossed so far. Everything I've printed is stuck, but he does like some crazy stuff with the putting them on the wall and putting the different.
Oh, it's insane. I mean, like the method behind it's amazing, but then the practicality of it is unfortunately quite different when you've got time. You got to hit time markers, and you don't have time to mess about. So
right. Rob, nice work here. Listen, this is a servo-driven cam automation project. It's made in Tinkercad. It looks like uses tilt motion and input student. It's student coded. I'm gonna go. Let's see if we can do this full screen. There you go.
Oh, nice.
There you go. So the little servo on there makes the dragon go up and down. Such a fun project. It looks like a majority of it's made out of cardboard, which is really cool. Yeah. There's your servo.
Yeah, little continuous one on there. Again, that's the same servo that you'd put in a droid. So,
Okay.
Just saying.
I like it. I'm going to have to do this. We might have to do a series. You already did one with these guys, but I mean, we might have to do a series of droid building because that would be pretty cool.
Let's do it.
And let's see. I just wanted to see this one more time. Oh, by the way, nice art on the dragon because whoever came up with I don't know if they must have printed this. Yeah, they had to print that. Nice work. Because if it was me, it would be just cardboard. It wouldn't be like two cardboard flaps. Very cool. But nice work, Rob. Great job with the 6th grade, and keep it up. What do we got next here? Abby Brown, 200%. How do you say that word?
Squircle.
We'll call it a squircle. Sure.
Yeah.
It's in vase mode with atomic filament. Great filament. Model coming soon to Colts. And let's see. I'll tag HotMakes once I have my full post complete. Well, you tagged us, so you're here. Congratulations, Abby. But check this out. This is like, okay, from the front, you're thinking interesting, right? Look at this.
Wow.
I mean, it like. I just don't. I'm trying to.
What machine is that? What machine is that? That's an IDEX.
Abby could tell. I don't think she put it on here. Let us know, Abby. I think you've said this before, which machine this was. But yeah, I mean, from the top, you really see that's pretty crazy. Let me know phonetically how the heck a square, triangle, circle. Oh. Obviously, that's
Make a gear M3 ID. Wow, amazing.
A squircle, huh? Square, a triangle, and a circle. It's cool. I love that. I love the shape in the end, and from the front, you'd be like, huh, that's interesting. You don't see it, right? And then to me, you really see it here. Such a cool idea. She's always making some cool stuff too. Is this for your class, Abby? Let us know in the comments. Is this for teaching? Because she makes some really cool stuff. Square. That's how she came up with the name. Nice work. Cool. And you got to love that color too.
I love how it's so inspiring. What people put out there. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Not my shape. Inspired by that Wolf Graham article, but you designed it, so it technically is your shape. It's just inspired by. Yeah, you're right though. I mean, in this community, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. You could say like, I want a squircle hat, and by next week somebody will design this thing for you to print it. And Abby probably already has one. She just hasn't posted it yet. It's just a nice little hat, that. But nice work, Abby. What time we got? Oh, we got to get rocking here. Next, last but not least, again, local Maker, Michigan. Another practical print. A couple lighting solutions from the two mini sisters. He calls them the Prusa Minis. This is a light bar he made, and that's bolted onto the front of the little Prusa Mini there. And this is kind of what it shows.
Nice.
Good way to throw a light on the front of the printer. Very practical. Tinkercad for the win on that one again. And I'm not sure if you posted this anywhere or not, but let us know if you did, because we'd love to check it out. I think it's an awesome idea to have a light anywhere, because it always, it's inevitable that you're like, is that sticking? What's that doing? And you're like, underneath your nozzle trying to see what's going on, especially with the crowding machines that make it real easy for you to see under the nozzle.
I had a question a little while ago for Creality, and I said, why aren't you putting cameras, building this all in, putting cameras in the corner so you can see where the nozzle comes in? And they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Have you used one of these printers? I don't know.
Well, that's what we're here for. I mean, that's that's why. But ladies and gentlemen, that was our HotMakes for the day. And congratulations, or nice work, I should say, on everybody who made something cool. Local Maker, Michigan, with the awesome fan and the awesome light mount there at the end too. So I love the practical stuff, because you can make a bajillion mini gyms or bird whistles or whatever, right? There you go. But it's like the practical stuff that really shows, like, I need a 4-inch duct connector. Let me go print that real quick. You know what I mean? Like, not real quick, but let me go print it. And then you have one. Yeah. Could I go to Home Depot and probably buy it? Of course I could. But it's just the fact that you're coming out, you're starting your machine, you come out and you have something in your hands when you're done. And I love that about 3D printing. No vision. Someone do a disco ball. That could be done. There you go. Tinkercad Wizard. Nice. Well, I tell you what, this is your final warning. We got about 5 minutes left of the show. This is it. You got about a minute to enter the $50 things giveaway for Amazon. While we're doing that, one more time, where can we find you? How do we get a hold of you? Where can we find you on all the things?
Sure. Yeah. YouTube.com/The Real Sam Prentice. That's the YouTube channel. Instagram is, I'm not kind of that big into Twitter, but I'm Sam Prentice on Twitter, The Real Sam Prentice on Instagram, and that's pretty much my lot. So there you go.
I keep hearing a lot about Instagram. So a lot of people say that same thing, that where you got to go. Twitter is there, but Instagram, like, that's where you got to go. Last week, Ben was saying, like, that's where most of the woodworking people go, because you can take the pictures and everybody sees them and stuff. And so I gotta work on getting even if it's manually, getting some stuff over there. I know if you go type in HotMakes, you find some really interesting things, but you do find some stuff that people have made as well. Just type that at your own risk on Instagram, because HotMakes maybe not mean the same thing on Instagram. So while I'm pulling this list together, you're working on a droid that is going to have a 3D printer inside of it, and you woke up and it's going to turn itself. You came up with the idea for it to spin around inside. So anything else you're working on that you can talk about, or
absolutely. So the other thing is we're gonna take the tracks up bigger again. So the tracks that you've seen on the Polymaker droid and the smaller droid, we're gonna make them bigger, and I want to make a race car. And at some of the 3D printing shows, I want to be driving this race car. And this came from Matt Denton, who is an incredible guy. He works on Star Wars films. He's one of the creators for the BB-8, and he also does the XXL Lego go-karts and things. And he was on the E3D stand at TCT. He's also going to be in Frankfurt as well next week with his go-karts and bits and pieces. So I want to try and race him. So I'm going to put an open challenge to Matt. you know, and see what happens. Then I've got a couple of world record attempts as well that I'm going to be doing, which is going to be kind of crazy. So yeah, watch this space. But again, I want to niche down now. This is all about making. So the videos might not be every week, but they will be, you know, eventually. So yeah,
no, that's good. And you know, every week is hard and anyway, but I think when you can put something big like that together, people don't mind if it's once a month, you know,
exactly,
or something, you know.
But the deal's done, you know, the sponsorships are all lined up, and I'm pretty good at kind of making that kind of work. So it's, you know, they're there, they want to do it, so let's do it.
That's awesome. So here we go. Let's paste this in. Maybe did I not copy it? Oh, fail. Copy. Yeah. Oh, get out of here. There we go.
Oh,
all right. At the list. I just squirreled out for a second. Sounds like my neighbor is using a chop saw over here, and I'm just like, what is that? I thought it was coming through the wall. Anyways, all right. This is for a $50 Amazon gift card, courtesy of Thangs. Here we go.
oh, right.
Oh, gum shield. There you go. Congratulations. Let us know you're here. We need to see you. We need to hear it. Let us know you're here, and congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Things. That's awesome. Yeah, you know what? It's weird though, because I was a big Thingiverse fan, and now I'm on Things. That's just the way it goes now.
Rogue is tagged up. There he is.
Yes. All right. Congratulations. You got yourself a $50 Amazon gift card, so that's going to be awesome. Yeah, I think you know, they have over 5 million models now on Thanks, so it's so cool. What's really cool, I want to go try this. Maybe I'll try this after the stream, but go to Things. I wonder if you type droid, what comes up? Like a billion parts? You know, you just never know, because you can search by geometry.
Yeah,
and I need to know now, so I'm going to do this real quick. Just type droid. Maybe not in the chat. Oops. There is a ton of stuff. So, yeah, there you go. A bunch of stuff comes up when you type droid. Heavy weapons droid, surgical droid,
Theo droid. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah. So that's my challenge to everybody. Jump off the stream when we're done. Go to Things, type in droid, and then print something. That'll be fun. And then tag us. There you go. It's like homework. Print something from the droid selection off Things, and then tag us for HotMakes next week, and we'll show it. That'll be fun. Nice. Just watching. So. Yeah, oh, great. Here we go. Shane's always got to bring out the fun words that I say. So with that being said, it is 7:00. Sam, I really appreciate you jumping on with us. I learned a ton about droids, and I mean, anytime you want to loan one of those out, I will. I'll fly over. I'm
over to you guys. I'm at Murph next, so I'll be there doing my thing with Tripod. Tripod's picking me up. We're gonna cruise up, and you know, we're just waiting on the dates.
Yeah, as soon as we have dates, that'll be awesome. A lot of most people know or don't. This is my last year of the DJ stuff. I'm done. I decided I'm gonna go away from that at the end of this year and just focus on this and being with family and a full-time job as well. But that means it doesn't matter what weekend it is this year, because I won't have a wedding. That historically has been like a battle when Irf and Murph both come along. I have to check do I already have weddings, that kind of thing. So hopefully this year we'll see you out there. It'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully it won't be a swimming pool. I guess I should say next year. But I definitely look forward to meeting you there. And again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us another Monday right here on HotMakes. And we'll see you next week, everybody. Sam, hang out right there. And everybody else, have a great week. We will see you next week. don't forget hashtag HotMakes on the Twitters. And if you want to do it on Instagram, go for it. I'll start looking on Instagram manually for now. It's kind of a weird process there. But hashtag HotMakes, as you see below on the ticker, and we'll get a bunch of cool stuff out. I challenge all of you guys, build a droid, tag us, and then tag a couple extra things this week so we get a huge list for next week. Everybody, oh, you know what? I almost forgot. Richard Cleveland from the First Layer is joining us next week. So stay tuned for that too. Richard's a great dude. They have a great channel over at the First Layer, and I can't wait to talk to him about some fun stuff he's doing too. So everybody else, we'll see you, Sam. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.